Good morning, students. So this class we are going to see the microprocessor and its applications. So what is microprocessor? A microprocessor is a multi-purpose programmable clock-driven register-based electronic device that reads binary instruction from a storage device. It is called memory. And then it accepts the binary data as an input and process the data according to those instructions which are written by the programmer and provide the result as output. So this is a definition of a microprocessor. So simply we say it accept the data from outside world, then process some operations on the data by the predetermined program, and then produce the result according to the program. Okay. Now, see, a microprocessor consists of the hardware and software. You know what is hardware? The hardware is the physical component of the system, what is called the hardware. Then software. Software means it is a set of instructions written for microprocessor to perform a task. Also it is called the program. And a group of program is called the software. Okay? So a software is a set of program. A program is a set of instruction to perform a task. Then memory. Memory, actually the memory is a place where we store the data or a program. Here in the microprocessor, we use a little memory, normally a semiconductor chip which has 1 kilobyte of memory. Then input output devices. So the data can be fed through the input devices and then the output are generated using the output devices. That is, the microprocessor reads the instruction from the memory and process the data according to the instructions. The result can be displayed by a devices such as a LED, light emitting diodes, or printed by a printer. Okay. So this is the output devices. The keyboard is a input device in which we can feed the data. Then the microprocessor as a CPU, that is the microprocessor unit. MPU means it is a microprocessor unit. How a CPU becomes a MPU? Okay, you see the block diagram. A computer consists of the following units, that is arithmetic logic unit, control unit. So this is the CPU. A CPU consists of ALU and control unit. Then outside there are two devices are connected. One is the input devices and the output devices. The control units controls all the activity, that is, it provides the control signals. Suppose that the inputs are received it is done by the control unit, then it may be transmitted to the memory. Suppose that the data in the memories are used to perform the arithmetic calculations. The control unit fetches the data from the memory and perform the particular operation, arithmetic operation. Then, after completion of the operation, suppose we want to send the data, that is the result, to the output unit. So that is also done by the control unit. Okay? Therefore, here the CPU consists of ALU, which performs arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, divisions, etc. Then the logical operations and or not. So these are performed by the ALU, that is the arithmetic and logical operation. The control units overall control the system. It receives the data and it's sent to memory. Then again, if any calculations, then it sent to ALU. Then the result will be sent to the printer or any output device. Then how the microprocessor unit becomes a how the computer becomes a microprocessor unit. Again, the microprocessor consists of ALU, control unit, and a register array. Okay. The ALU performs the arithmetic and logical operations. The control units control overall, that is which receive the input from the devices and transmitted to memory unit, and the results are transmitted to the output device. Then register array. The microprocessor consists of a small unit of memory. Normally we called this is a cache memory. In C programming we use to define some variables, which is a register, so that the program take the variables from the register memory and perform calculations very fast compared than ordinary memory, that is the RAM. Then organization of the microprocessor based system. Right. You see the figure. So a microprocessor unit and how the read-write memories are connected. That is the input, output, read, write, then ROM are connected by the system bus. Right. This figure shows the simplified but formal structure of the microprocessor based system. Microprocessor is one among many microprocessor based systems. So it includes the three components, that is the microprocessor, then input output, and then memory. The input output consists of input switches and output port. Then the memory consists of read-only memory and a read-write memory, that is the random access memory. These components are organized around a common communication path called bus. The entire group of components is also referred as a system or microcomputer system, and the components are referred as the subsystem. Now, again, we come to the microprocessor. Microprocessor unit. Already I told you, a microprocessor is a clock-driven device which consists of electronic circuits manufactured by either a large-scale integration LSI, or very large scale integration, VLSI technique. The microprocessor is capable of performing various computing functions and making decision to change the sequence of program execution. Okay. Now, the microprocessor unit consists of CPU, register array, CPU, register array, and then control unit. I already told you what is your arithmetic and logic unit. So this is the area of your microprocessor where various communicating functions are performed on data. The ALU unit performs operations such as addition, subtraction for arithmetic purpose, and for logical purpose it uses and, or, not, exclusive, or etc. Then the register array. The register array, this is the area of your microprocessor, consists of various registers identified by the letters, capital letters B, C, D, E, H, and L. Okay. For a 16-bit microprocessor, we combine BC, DE, and HL register. These are the 8-bit registers. These registers are primarily used to store the data temporarily during the execution of a program, which are accessible to the user through their instructions. Then the control unit. The control unit provides necessary timing and control signals to all the operations in the microprocessor. That is, it controls the flow of the data between the microprocessor and the memory and the peripheral. Okay. That is, I already told you, suppose that by keyboard we have entered the data that is received by the control signal of a control unit, and then the data is sent to memory. After that, if there is an arithmetic calculations, then it instructs the ALU to perform arithmetic operations, and then the result is transmitted to the output unit, that is the printer or monitor, etc. Then next one is here memory. So memory stores binary information as instruction and data, which provides the information to the microprocessor whenever it requires. To execute programs, the microprocessor read instructions and the data from memory and perform the computing operations in its ALU. The results are either transferred to the output sections for display or stored in the memory for the later use. We already seen the block diagram. It has two sections. One is a read-only memory, and another one is a read-write memory, or it is also called random access memory. The read-only memory is used to store the program that do not need alteration. That means once we have write the program in the ROM, that we cannot alter. So it is permanent one. Then the read-write memory. This is also known as the user memory. It is used to store the user program and the data. In a single board microcomputer, the monitor program monitors the hexadecimal keys and store those instructions and data in the read-write memory. The information stored in this memory can easily read and alter. And also that this is called the non-volatile and volatile memory. That is, when the power has gone, the content in the read-write memory will be lost, whereas the content in the ROM will not be lost. So that some programs which are frequently used or boot program used by the operating systems are stored in the ROM. The user programs, for example, if you want to write the C program, C++ program, that you may change frequently, then you can erase it, you can copy it, everything is done by in the read-write memory. Okay. Then next, input output. Already I told you what is the input output. The input is a device which receives the information from the outside world. The popular input devices are the keyboard, then switches, then analog to digital converter, etc. The keyboard uses the ASCII values. Then microprocessor keyboard uses the hexadecimal values to get the input. Then the output devices which transfer the data from microprocessor to the outside world. This includes LED, then CRT, cathode ray tube, or video screen printer, etc. Then the last one is a system bus. The system bus is a communication path between the microprocessor and peripheral. A bus is nothing but a group of wires in which the data are transmitted. So all the peripherals, memory, etc., which are connected by the system bus. Right. Let us see the summary of this class. What is a microprocessor? Then how the MPU becomes the CPU. Then the organization of the microprocessor. So that includes the ALU, control unit, register array, IO unit, system bus, and then memory such as a ROM and ROM. Okay. Thank you, student. If you have any doubt, you contact me.